Mame fa na asema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Yemu bibia akwaba eba PENDREAM TV. Radford Cable ache ede yensem bi atudwa a woche se John Dramani Mahama ede nani achemu ewo boko. Na nienti a ode nani achemu ewo ho no efa basa ye ene mentime ho ase a ekoso ewo ho. Na ni nyina no kwan a ebefa so ama asundwi aba omanyi mu. Ensem bi ka we hu na Radford Cable ache ede atudwa. Kame ho na yentie ne nsem no enchiremu. Ansa na beko no subscribe to channel no. The audience will comment section like na share jumadi no ma afoforo ensa enkabi.
President Mahama ewo boko soldier for car na asisi ano. President Mahama eba e say soldier for honom. Yenim tension na the northern part of Ghana. Ejua kwa na ejua na emu asan hwanyan. Ejua na emu asan hwanyan. Enti President Mahama buy why meetings outdoor. And nay ochia security couples ni nyina madika ka kiro se wa hia couples ni nyina no madi nkomo wie ye no pa o se wotimi kɔ boko na menteme ho ase a esi stakeholders awdo a omho bom ni nyina no ese wotimi hyiehia womo ahemfi ese so kɔ ahemfo a ho no mo obehwa aboa na afei omo nso atimi akame womo encroft down na somdua aba no ni nyina sa meetings ni nyina no bɛyɛ na bibibia nso atimi de asomdua aba. Eti yebehwe hawa nema bisifa ko eti we President Mahama ewo boko on wasi afinika ni no President Mahama na asi afinika ni mo ewo boko na chese nani abere sanse north no fi enti se fie nyoa na president a we den oda wona yes e fie nyo na president a we den oda wona te se wotimi kofie na issues awdo ofie ni nyina no otimi ni mpanimfo a womo so betimi ahwaboa na obia just adwobrɛw atimi aba no nyina no na watimi ahia wo mti wabawura one of the palaces ɛwɔ hɔ no mo a kyerɛ wɔkɔ akɔhwaboa wɔbɔko sisi a wɔkɔ akɔhwaboa na afei bibia nso atimi akɔnka kama nti yɛbɛhwɛ na yahu hawa nneɛma besifa atimi akɔ yɛnyina so ɛde mpaeɛ ɛta akyiri sanse woyɛ bibia na obɔ mpaeɛ without the Bible, na body Quran in ebo, with insan egu from no one from ya mompaye ma, unyame na some no nansumua. Eya na eniema no enche den twa yi santi okoni nyina no wonim se okono why can the for there say bibia timi ekonkan yes President Mama so abo media ebe yi sanete ne papa bi ne me din komo no ka se boache afina Ghana nya leader na ade ne ya ne se President Mahama entimi nko 8 years continuous senka otimi nya sa akwanya na enka President Mahama ebesisa Ghana ozenko obesisa Ghana because so share eneme kita no adwene a wo fa governance ho o hwe ne commitment level just adwuma no wa kire se onim adwuma no so na sisi akra de experience no aba more into fa pen paper na so no kwa utim so wonim ni oye zanse ifia wa chene mo pen.
The thing is not commitment being with respect to Sabuku and you know anka commitment wa ha me sure say anka Boku we would have solved it long time ago. And Oman Penyin, I think he mentioned on a number of occasions, these are to ensure that Sabuku is resolved once and for all. Yes. And the fact that we're sharing security heads, shows, the commitment. And already we're home. And I'm hoping, by the time we in the first, trip, we should have, had a strategy to dealing with it. But my only challenge, I know the fact that your new security arrangements at this point. And so, for example, your new National Security Coordinator, as a result.
Yetwa Samson. Radford Cable ache ene Adib Sane ede enkomo twetwe bi etudwa a efa mente me ho ase ene basabasa ya ekoso ewo boko no ho na yentie se ne omode omonsem etudwa.
Adib Sani a security expert. Senior Temenka Unia Boachini Bibia Bokodia.
Boko Yanko Pasi, Muswe.
Nyamia Dom Divan Selection Kain. Boko incident no anase issues are I managed from Boko in recent times. A 2 out of 2 year 3 union be Yebetimia Kase Abaya Sisa. And the former commander in chief, I'm talking about the immediate past President Akufo-Addo, on the security heads. Fambino, one more arm wagana or Kwambiso. Yeah, about chairman security couples for the past 8 years, you know. And then Timian Swan and answer Juman as chairwoman.
Well, the thing is, not commitment being, with respect to Sabu Kwasem, and Anka commitment was her. Yeah, sure, say. Oh, Anka Boku, we would have solved it long time ago. And on my opinion, I think he mentioned on a number of occasions, these are to ensure say Sabu Kwasem is resolved once and for all. And the fact that we're sharing security heads, shows, the commitment. And already we're home. And I'm hoping, say, by the time we in the first, trip, we should have, had a strategy to deal with it. But my only challenge, I know the fact that your new security arrangements at this point. And so, for example, your new National Security Coordinator, as a result, I'm wondering that we are over but I'm hoping that immediately Obey constituting the security team, then the coordinator, then we deal with it much more effectively going forward.
What can commitment be as say not commitment level in the hall? A commitment on the part of the former president, and I said the security heads and not almost show commitment to Bawuku conflict.
Well, the thing is, commitment on the politicians, I think it has been a major issue because Anka.
Well, my first steady statement, meeting with the security couples, I would term it as what we call strategic security engagement. Now, strategic in the sense that Obibiawa Oya Mampain after coordinate Seguado within 8 days. Now, within a short possible time, Oba meet such security goals, It tells you there the knowledge when it comes to matters of security, As a president, in the case of John Dramani Mahama, I must say, is a top notch. Why? So we share within the issues, which is both domestic and international security threat. Me did there as a president, on you do. On the meeting with the security couples, and first of all dealing with the internal security threat. The major one are able to market there in respect to conflict issues, as in ethnic conflict issues, are all Bawuku. I think that as a president, Dam and Mono Lutuno, especially trying to use the dialogue and negotiation approach, is in the right direction. And I believe that was started in the very right, and we need to support him for that.
I see. Yemisa say the immediate past administration, no, and I'm show interest in because I spoke to Adib Sani and he was telling me that I said administration back on na commitment level no ever form. Then share how our approach President Akufo-Addo, former President Akufo-Addo, and then appointees far so. Say because a general sabe pem sabri, our President Mahama who the need to intervene quickly said about and conquer for half of Rubia Mano. You share the commitment level of the past administration. Now who they say?
Well, Bema, when it comes to matters of security, leaders are what command the powers. Obia wane approach in handling security matters. Apart from the security approach, individual leadership nankasa so obia wane philosophy. Now, say compare Oye Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo as a president or as a former president to John Dramani Mahama as a president. Obi biawa only matters of conflict relations and that of international relations. Studying from these two leaders, Ebongu there, Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo is a realist leadership approach style, or in other words, leadership style in terms of handling such conflict, is what we call the realist approach. Now, realists, they like to use what we call power. And at any point in time, it's very difficult to trust the people who are within the conflict and other the stakeholders. And see, on them there, JD Onangasa leader, with the people involved in the conflict, always, you want to use the power-based approach, where you see soldiers and the police operation team day in and day out, brutalizing people, all in the name of making sure that the people will know, say, at any point in time, you want to use the military-based approach. Now, going with John Dramani Mahama, so instead of leadership style with his philosophy, it was there or a more liberal.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, brother.
Central, Mr. Mahama Ayaga has just also arrived. So he's waiting for the president.
We won't do life inside.
Yeah. No camera inside. Okay, return. No camera return.
The liberals, they easily give trust to individual actors that are part of the conflict. And they try there to use the collaborative and cooperative approach. And so there, at the end of the day, when you allow but nothing. Now we negotiate. Now we make use of the dialogue approach. Now Obibiawa or a part of the conflict, will benefit both politically and economically. That is the approach of the liberal. And John Dramani Mahama stand for the approach of liberal, whilst Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo stand for the approach of realist. And in the international relation domain, Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo onye the Burkina Faso president, which is the coup gentile, the gentile leader,
yeah,
Captain Ibrahim Traoré.
Yes.
The Boshe ni relationship with Captain Traoré compared to John Dramani Mahama. Ebonu there, at a point in time, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo sees Captain Traoré or Ibrahim as an enemy to Ghana. And it reflects on record. There was some few skirmishes on them, the former president, Okodi Kwakwonsawde, the U.S. in that perspective. Sebekaya, it's on record.
Mekaipa.
Yes.
So report to US for.
Good. So it tends to say he was using the realist approach, and the realists, they don't trust individual, leaders within a sector, and they always want to look at competition and the power-based approach, as I made mention. Eboshe there, compared to John Dramani Mahama and the approach he's trying to use within the international relations, it will be of real there, Obibi Abaka there, a cool leader, now a democratic leader like John Dramani Mahama, they invite him even his immigration, hour or day. That tells you the kind of leadership, philosophy that John Dramani Mahama wants to use. That is the liberal approach. On him, the threat, the threat of terrorism, more or less, there. Individual countries in Burkina Faso and Ghana, we are all facing them terrorism issues. And he believes in intelligence sharing, he believes in cooperation, he believes in, more or less like shared security strategies to used by the two countries, in order to combat or to defend the various countries against the terrorism group. So, Ebisaya, these two leaders have their own philosophy in terms of leadership and in terms of approaching to security and conflict.
I see. But I have shared security has in our Ghana. Wabetuum. So, Ebinum say, and Kawabai issues are now honum, woman Timiamwa, Ama, Yetimia Sano, Ebiana, or more approaching in your Antikawabai, and as a matter of agency, Senia, or no so, Timia Shas, yes, and Oka, Obona Basono. A Konosu Timichabana face, so obey appointment for Frobia. On fresh ideas are almost be Timia Buano to resolve this matter once and for all. Do you agree with them?
Well, Minabama, in certain context, I agree with them. And in other context, I beg to differ. But let me go detail for you to understand where I'm coming from.
Okay, yeah, I am a training flow.
Okay. Now, yes, meanwhile, I can say, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, on our appointee, Dr. Dampare, as the IGP for the Ghana Police Service. And then in the military sector also, the CDS, Four-Star General, Opampetwa, Akufo-Addo now appointing. Yes, there's this belief there, Obibiawa or Nyobibo survive in a certain environment, It is because they have or they share one quality. Only thing when you know to survive within the environment. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, leadership style in a way of handling conflict now. Because there, or beliefs there, the IGP, which is Dr. Dampare, only the CDS, they also have that similar, approach. That is why they have been able to survive. And then, to my point one, to be the CDS and the IGP. But the answer is individually, so we share the IGP in person. The question is, so what is security approach? What is next philosophy? And then compared to that of the CDS, what is the security approach and Nankata's philosophy? Personally, if you are analyzing these two security couples, in the sense of the IGP, I must say, study him from afar, no, so our that realist, security approach, especially if you how or handle some of the security issues within the Ghana Police Service. I believe that those issues, as in how Nankaso handle some of the conflict approach, the conflict within the police service, it also say he's more or less using what we call the realist approach, whereby at any point in time, he wants to show the power. Only at any point in time, they say police even say, or feel there you are not by his side. What he must do is that he either transfer you, another he either find a way one guy you won't feel comfortable. And that is the realist approach. But in the case of the CDS, I can tell you, sir, he is not that type of. He is more of, liberal. And the intel I have, you tell the soldiers will tell you, sir, he is somebody they really love, and he's somebody he's ready to listen and to make sure that he use what we call the dialogue and the negotiation approach in terms of handling conflict within the military domain. But look, in terms of the security approach by these two security couples, it all depends on the leader. Nanado Dankwa Kufaru, in any moment, in any time, we want to instruct the military in combination of the police to use the force approach in any of these conflicts. And per history, historical antecedents, Ebekaya, a shaman, Mosi was shaman, a soldier for a movie at that very night, Omoko Kobu a shaman for. Look, that operation was sanctioned by the president because the chairman is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. The CDS ultimately saw there or move the soldiers to Ashaman without the notice of the president, without the sanction of the president. And so, moreover, say, in terms of the internal security approach of this particular institution, more of the directions, I can say, or they to me, you're pushing on the president and the approach they intend to use. Apart from that, individual security capacity, so we can also look at it from that direction.
Okay.
The Kasai Ebeti subscribe to channel no do agent comment section like na share jumadi numa afoforo ensa enkabi ye be share in the next video.
Dedi kama amena Pendream TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge without any biases. Pendream TV.